Hey guys, why don't you say hi?
Hi there, everyone. Again, fifth time or sixth time is the charm. Thank you for joining our Q&A webinar on Wednesday. Brad and I have an amazing show for you today, and we're going to a lot of you are new to Trade Ideas. We have so many exciting things to show you because we're just innovating at a pace that I don't think you guys will have ever encountered before in terms of what can be done technologically. First, a disclaimer. Trade Ideas is not a registered investment advisor, and all the information that you are going to see today, all the mentioned of securities, are not to be construed as solicitations to buy or sell them. This is for educational and informational purposes only. Should you want specific tailored investment advice, please consult a registered investment advisor. Okay, Halloween test drive. Guys, especially the new people, listen here. We are doing something with the financial markets, and we will show you in a way what Uber has done with taxis. And I know everyone says and everyone talks and the next unicorn and all this stuff, but guys, ladies, gentlemen, really amazing things are happening. And if you've ever been to a webinar that Brad and I have presented, you know that we generally are excited about the product and we don't fake it. We're not here doing sales because we're salespeople. We love what we do and we love the technology that we have made. It's like we joke about internally. We say we are like Tiger Woods' dad when Tiger Woods was 11. You know what you got, but just, not a lot of people know yet, like your neighborhood, maybe the middle school. That's where we're at right now. What you're seeing is Tiger Woods at age 11 in terms of where Trade Ideas is in its potential, in its life, and what it will achieve. The reason I'm bringing this up is we are doing this test drive. It's an ability for you to test the product completely for only $8.88, and it's a whole test for the week. We have our whole community is involved in these test drives because we have a lot of active participants in the markets that not only use our technology, not only subscribe to us, but participate. We have a very active community led by our very own Barry Anderson from Canada, who does an amazing job walking people through the best practices of engaging with the markets, utilizing our technology, which is something that, again, you guys most likely have never seen before. So without further ado.
So Dan, hey, well, I think the test drive is completely valuable to new users of Trade Ideas Tech. It's also something for people that have been with us for a while and have yet to experience the AI and the price alert functionality combined in the tool. It's a great opportunity to give that a run as well.
Well, no doubt. I actually took that part for granted, and I appreciate that you pointed that out. If you have a basic subscription to Trade Ideas, this is an opportunity for you to just for basically $9 test drive the premium version of the product. And again, these three things, listen, we're gonna take the lid off, kind of lift the carpet. We're gonna show you that we are really the Tinder of the stock market, and the Tinder from the standpoint of getting to the decision quickly, not from the standpoint of apps that help you hook up with other people. So how do you participate in the community after you take advantage of our trial is as follows. If you go to the link up here, tradeideas.com/trading room, you will be taken through a process where you create a username, join the trading room, and you will be able to participate with myself, with Barry, with other members of the Trade Ideas team all through out the trial. This is open for everybody and it's free. It's something that we do to just help the community of active investors. We don't charge for this. Of course, we use our own technology and promote it, but you do not have to be a Trade Ideas subscriber to be in this room. And there's between 500 and 600 people there every day, and it's growing because people are really seeing what's happening, what you can do. And that's what Brad and I are about to show you. If you've ever seen Netflix, let's get ready to Netflix and chill. Shall we, Brad?
Let's do it.
Okay. So on the left-hand side, what you see is the Trade Ideas channel bar. These channels are ways in which you, the individual, can access information visually without having to spend any time configuring stuff. Like, why do all vendors in fintech have this fascination with you, the end user, instead of using their technology, sitting there and setting it up? It's like they give you a Volkswagen Bug, but it doesn't even have the hood closed. It's open and there's a towel underneath it. Hi everyone, get ready, but start by changing the oil. That's not how you should interact with financial data. Okay, what we have created here is the Netflix and the Google Navigate combined, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So first of all, the channel bar makes it very easy for you to navigate everything that we offer. So here's a channel. Remember I said Barry Anderson is going to be leading the channel during our trading room during the free trial. Well, these are windows that Barry has created that he shares with everyone, and they're available in the channel. So you don't have to like dig through stuff, and when you're seeing what Barry's doing, you can quickly access the information. Our ability to access important information quickly is for sure something that completely separates us from the rest of the vendors in fintech. Social media. It's important for everyone to understand that one of the things that drives momentum in stocks is the actual momentum. And momentum is easily perceived as people talking, discussing, having feelings about a certain stock name. And the way they have these feelings and represent activity is often through social media interaction. We, of course, are watching all of that with our technology, with our AI, and seeing when it is important to act upon it. And we have a social media channel that lets you focus on stocks that are being talked about unusually. Like, here's something that's unusually bad. Here's something that's unusually good. And again, this is something that you can always assess and analyze depending on what your personal preferences are. But very easy to just see and investigate. But let me show you something else, because this is where, remember how Netflix does a lot of smarts. You know, once you watch something, Netflix will help you see other things. So here's what we're doing. When you watch Trade Ideas, notice right now here, look at my mouse. See, it's over here. I'm not doing anything. I'm not keyboarding. I'm not mousing. I am just sitting here watching. One of the most important things we realized is the Occam's razor of just seeing information. When you look at stock data, all you see is a screen with blinking lights. But what we are here showing you is a fully animated motion picture. Okay, you're going to see the negative, and then you're instantly going to see the positive. And you're going to be able to go through this information and see it without even doing anything. So all you have to do is surf. That's what we do. We surf. We surf the web. We surf websites. Everything else is being done for you. And you should already start to notice that you're seeing things, percentage movers and other things that you probably aren't going to see in other places. Our data is presented in a way that's very specific to the art and science of active, self-directed investment management. People like you, people like me, people who want to participate in the destiny of their finances have to use our technology. Because our technology is the most advanced way to look at today's market data. Let's pause this for a second. Look at this move. Let me explain why it's very important that you are able to perceive the whole picture. Number one, let me show you what we're doing and why it's so important, what you might be taking for granted. Here's where I combine Netflix and Google navigation together. Number one, Google. Google is a search engine. Trade Ideas, we are a search engine. Google is looking for stuff that you asked. We are looking for ways for you to make money. So we kind of have to create the search concept for you. But let's face it, everyone has that in common, right? We're all in the market to make money. How do you make money in the market? Haha, the mystery 80, 100 billion, trillion dollar question. Well, I'm going to surprise you by telling you that it's exactly the opposite of what the fake news financial media tells you. Timing is everything. What is timing though? Brad, this is a kind of a question that it's not even I want you to answer, but people often have a misconception of what timing is. People wrongly suspect that timing is knowing something and then predicting something is going to happen. I'm going to time it. I'm going to predict that in 3 days from now, no, that is not what timing is. Timing is understanding the nuance between the forces of supply and demand and when they are effective and when they're ineffective. When they're effective, the stock is properly priced. When they're ineffective, it's either too low or way too high. And our software allows you to take advantage of all of this. So here's how we do it. Number one, we're already helping you find the stocks that are acting really interestingly. So this stock, CCIH, okay, is a stock that looks like it's turning around from a very, very long-term downtrend. And our software tried to pick up a buy signal on it before and was wrong. That's something I'll get back to. But so the stock has basically been a downtrend since $10 and has gone from 10 to 1. That's terrible. By the way, that is a very important reason for you to forget the whole notion of buy and hold. No, 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 no. Okay? It's all about timing and money management. So what our AI and what our software does is allows you for us to assess longer term situations and see when these situations could be behaving in a way that they could be changing. So you can kind of see, like, look, some very critical motion happen here. You can notice that volume bar just spiking through like fangs. And here we are in the most recent term, another one. And all of that action has been to the upside. So our software basically tells you, it thinks that whenever you pull up a stock, and I'm going to go to this one right now, just a different stock. Here's another one, also different. But back to this one, when you pull up a stock, our software assumes that you're going to buy it, even though you may not. And if you are going to buy it, had you bought it when you looked at it, the software immediately suggests, based on the stock's behavior today, where you should place your stop and where you should have your profit target. This is all smart technology based on specific behavior of a stock. Notice the lines. Notice the numbers. They change depending on the situation, the volatility. The stock looks extended. Look at these moves. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the stock market that most people miss. They are not told about stocks that behave in this way. They are not, because it's really in nobody's best interest to tell you, because then you would understand that you can do it yourself. And if you do that, then you take some of the control over your own finances. This is a stock, Springbank Pharmaceuticals, that actually looks like it's completely breaking out. This is a very, very, very strong move. And as long as it stays above here, above this price level, it's probably an aggressive accumulation candidate. So again, our software brings this up. Let me pull up something else. How do you like this one? So information. Processing the most critical information is something that you must do, and you must do it better than anyone that you're competing with if you want to win in the market. How do you do that? Well, we have an AI that is constantly looking at statistical openings for advantageous move in the stock market. And people ask us, well, Dan, Brad, Trade Ideas team, this is all for day traders. No. Our technology is far beyond the simple misdirected term of day trading. Day trading is nothing. It does not exist. It's a silly term. It's something that's been over-abused. It's kind of like ain't. Everybody uses it, but it shouldn't even be a word. It ain't right. There's only one reason for you to exit a position, and that reason is risk management or opportunity cost. For example, you get into something and it's not moving, and something else looks like it's about to move. Well, if you stay in that something that's not moving, and that other something moves, well, you're going to be losing opportunity cost, because money needs to work for you. That's the ultimate advantage of people that are wealthy, is that they make their money work for you. RAI is looking at statistical opportunities to help you make extraordinary gains. In JP Holdings, its first buy signal was at $8 in August. And here we are in October at $24. That's a 300% move, and the software didn't just one and done it. Look what it's doing. It's like it's telling you to continue to be long. So that's what we're saying, is that we have created the ultimate indicator. We don't put a lot of lines on our charts. Our people, our customers, approach this from that Tinder standpoint. You see information like a JP, you see information like a PRKR, and for example, here's the other way to look at it. So the AI tried to buy this one before and it didn't work out. So I'm not as excited about this one, just hypothetically speaking, because it failed before. So that means that the statistical moves for this stock just don't manifest themselves as much, whereas here you have nothing short of a statistical green light that says, come on guys, I've got this figured out. And we do this now for everything. Again, look at how we are breaking the market down. Short squeeze. A short squeeze is a type of scenario where there's a lot of pros that are quote unquote betting against the stock. And when pros bet against the stock, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but pros are terrible stock pickers. Most of the people that bet against companies are betting against fundamental forces, not betting against price action and other things that RAI takes into consideration. So we have a whole channel set up where stocks that have a large short interest, meaning where people are betting against them, are setting up to go higher. This is one of these, again, it's like HBO Zone, and this is HBO East. All these different ways that you can approach trading, and we haven't even gotten to Holly, your virtual analyst. Okay, just wait. So notice this right here. This is a way that people, I'm going to show you the best practices. How do people interact with our data? Let me pull up a stock here. KRYS, Crystal Biotech. Number one, first of all, notice that if I pulled it up and this is during the day, I would know exactly where my exit is and exactly where my entrance is. That is if I'm behaving statistically properly. So this is a fairly new stock, because I'm trying to go backwards. It's a recent IPO or something else, but there's not a lot of history on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the high here, and I'm going to see this, and I'm going to say, you know what, right click, create a price alert, and I'm going to say to myself, this now has momentum. And I'm going to change this to any price I want, but I'll just say 10. So now I created an alert for myself right here, and I can go to any other channel, and when that crosses, a notification will happen. I will get a pop-up signal saying my alert's crossed. And here's an example where I did such an alert right here, and APBH went up and went all the way up 67 cents thereafter. I didn't actually trade this one, but I'm saying this is an example of what happens. It goes green once the signal is crossed. Okay, so we also make it interesting. Low float. The proper way to invest in the stock market is not through guessing, but through using physics, science, real things that work. The float is how many shares are available to the public. When you have stocks that have a float that's like 8 million or 5 million or something to that effect, you put yourself in a situation for gigantic movement. This is why this is one of the best times in the world ever to be an individual investor. With Trade Ideas technology and the kind of things that we are seeing here now, we're no longer guessing at silly words like, you know, MACDs, that's an acronym, but, you know, or stochastics and all these other traditional methodologies that were applied to stocks before computing ever came to power. It's just different now. I also want to show you again, remember that we are not saying that our AI is all powerful. That would be stupid. There's no such thing. In fact, we're not afraid to show you when the AI makes mistakes because we always put in the brakes for you so that you're never sitting in this situation. The AI helps you get in, it helps you manage, and when it's wrong, you see it so that next time something pulls up, really, here's where you want to be in. And now it's over. It's not about being wrong or right. It's about timing, getting it at the right time when everything is set up for you. This is what we give you. This is what we bring to the table, and this is what you will be able to see for yourself at our open house. You will be able to surf through all of this information. You'll be able to check out all of these channels, the ETFs, the little low floaty, the best earnings. Do you want to see what's up with earnings today? Or what's down with earnings today? You know, we take in data and we make data. We are the leader in content generation in all of FinTech. You want to see the smaller stocks? Sure. Here's your tiny 1 centers that, by the way, have very large percentage movements. Or possibly you want to stick with the titans, or in this case, the titans of technology. All of that is available to you, ladies and gentlemen, at your fingertips. I cannot possibly be trying to convince you that you need this. You should be able to see this, see that I'm not touching anything, and that the software is continuing to bring up ideas for you, and you can literally just surf ideas and say, wait a minute, this CRE looks pretty good. Let me zoom out. Wow. So the software tried it. I mean, by the way, let's just take a look real quick and say, this type of behavior can fool any artificial intelligence. But now all of this has been cleared. Okay, so Barry will teach you about what we call blue sky and what's called the whole number break. These are all little things that you will learn during our webinar, but the point is that we provide something for everyone. And we help you see what happens. See, look, the software saw this gigantic gap down. How did you short sell it? It went lower twice, but then, you know, the market started to turn around. You cannot just sit. You have to take action. And these guidelines, the Google navigation, would have helped you during this time because you would have seen it. You would have seen what to do. You would have been able to react with it. But the most exciting thing, again, is that it's not a FANG world. It's not a Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google type of world. It's a low float world. It's an OPTT world. Look at the percentages. Look at the volume, 41 million shares. You cannot be talking about how this is some penny stock bullshit, even though possibly it is, but the point is labeling it is irrelevant. Look at the opportunity. This is real battle of buyers and sellers. This is where you want to be. This is the things that are moving. And we are the ones that are creating a path for you to take advantage of it in the best way possible. So finally, the creme de la creme. This is your virtual analyst, Holly, our artificial intelligence engine. During the day, Holly will give you trades to follow, and the question is, do you or don't you want to? So in this particular example, let me give you a trade that Holly got into that didn't work out. It was an OPTT trade. Okay, and by the way, see, it looked really good twice to the AI before, and I noticed that. And what did I notice? I noticed that the stock was higher than both of these price levels. So that actually made me feel pretty bullish about it. I mean, this is a very news-driven something. I mean, but the point is, look at the percentage moves. And tomorrow it's going to be exciting again. And if anything, you should be taking a note about OPTT. And once that happens, really like it. So what you can see is we do it simple. And then you can just drag and drop your levels, adjust them. But here, the idea is follow the AI. The AI can do things that you can't exactly do. Look at this signal right here. I mean, it's trying to do this for all of them. So when I see this and I see this, I'm like, wow, okay, I'm more confident. And sure enough, we have two modes, risk on and risk off, and it's telling you, the software is telling you what's the best behavior. Do you want to let the volatility help you, or should you be more conservative? That's all being done for you right here. It's a risk off day. This is risk on, this is risk off, meaning when do you get out? Do you hold it to the end of the day or keep it, or do you get out during the day? When do you be a day trader? The software tells you, be a day trader or not. All of this is done for you. Of course, you have to use your own account, your own risk management, but these are the kinds of calls that we do every day. So today, the AI made 45 cents in risk off mode. And the market, let's see, it was very similar, was up 22 cents. Okay, so again, we did just about twice as much as the SPY. But because we create this portfolio every day on the fly, you won't see these tomorrow. They'll be gone and you start over from scratch. Whole new symbols, whole new opportunities, another way to engage the market.
So Dan, may I interrupt?
Please, because I'm not watching the questions. I would love for you to interrupt.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great segue. I'm half listening to you, but it seems like this is a good opportunity because a gentleman, Paul, was asking about historical AI. So I thought maybe you'd want to show him a little bit of functionality that we have coming into our next beta, whenever that may be. I hope it'll be near the end of the week, but it could be next week. Right.
So remember, as I had said in the beginning, we're innovating so fast. So in my window, and I have a super duper early version, okay, right click, history, and I can go yesterday. So these were the trades that happened yesterday, and yesterday was a risk on day. So this is the trade. Let me show it to you as I zoom in. It was so beautiful. This was your buy signal, and this was your sell signal. So you can historically go and look at the data. You can say time frame. For example, show me if today is the 18th. Let's go all the way to. It's 3 months that we allow you to do it, right, Brad? So 2, that's 7. So 7/17 to right now. and it's showing you sorted by, whoops, risk on profit. So look, all the AI trades come across. You can see the date, the entry time, etc. So there's really quite a bit of information that allows you to dig through. You can see what happened here. Which one was this one? Was it this one? This one, this one, this one? And you can see and start to get a feel for how the AI thinks. Like the AI was in love with this stock and because it nailed it. The AI also knows what it's doing. So look, 1, 2, look at how it's pressing right here. This is called a press. So again, while it's not perfect, because look, you know, it looked like maybe it was going to go right here, but then it caught it once again on this move. So these are the kind of things that our software does. Brad, were there any other questions that I missed?
Yeah, let me ask one here for you to kind of demonstrate it. Sonia has a question here, and I think that this is going to address it. Do me a favor, bring in just a new alert window. And she has a question about just some basic filtering. And this could be done, of course, off any of our channel windows, but Dan, just bring in a regular window. Well, I was hoping you wouldn't scratch.
Right, well, no, but I think this is important because you can say, of course, you can go to all of our channels, but they also have components that you can use and work with from scratch. And I can just go to any alert and I can say, show me a new high.
Yeah, and she wants to filter for stocks between $1 and $5, right?
Between $1 and $5. Notice I went to filters. And you can then say, hide unused, add defaults. Like for example, you can say between $1 and $5 with relative volume of 10. That's just example. New high, super volume. But I'm going to show you that you're not really even going to potentially need that because all of these things will be self-evident. Let me do something real quick. So if I want to make a window and I want it to stay on my layout when I switch channels, I do what's called pinned. I pin the window. Okay, so I'm going to move this right here. Now I'm going to switch channels to, let's say, Alpha Predator. And in Alpha Predator, you're going to see some of these stocks. So I'm going to right click, go to history, and go to today. And we can see, so what kind of things did we see today? Well, today, you had CNET, OPTT, of course, because it was going on crazy volume, ISIG. I mean, you can see what it's doing. So you can do this all by yourself, easily.
So another good question here, Dan. Eric's asking, how do you set gappers for the low float? And this is what I would suggest. Go to the low float channel to start with, just to get some windows that we've already set up.
Well, hold on 1 second. Gappers on the low float. Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, we have a whole channel for it. Trade the gap. So I don't believe it specifically discriminates against low floaters.
No, but you could take any one of these windows and you could add additional filtering for it so that you're only looking for stocks that have a certain maximum float, perhaps.
Search and say float.
So this, by the way, in the search tab, this is how you find all of the different filters that you can configure.
So I can add a filter here and I can say 20 million. Hit OK. And now you have the low float gappers. And I will also do something else for you. I'm going to show you how I can take this window and I can share it with you by simply going like this and then pasting it back into the chat message of our meeting. And now if you are a subscriber of Trade Ideas, you can get that exact window that I just made called up gap with the filter for the stocks. Now there was another question from Eric, and I was just say, Eric, remember, we were just showing you that you don't really need to do anything because we already have everything in the channels. This is all set up for you. This has our expertise built in. You should not even have to have your own, but if you need to, you can simply borrow from the windows that we have, whether it's in the social media channel, whether it's in the low
Yeah, you
float
could buy it
channel.
from the low float and add gap filters to it.
Sure.
There's a lot of different ways to do it in trade ideas.
Yes. So KW, of course we have that. Look, I mean, there's a whole pre-market channel and you have the gap and both down, it's done. And you'll see them streaming. I mean, this is easy. A float is, let me show you guys real quick. Bear with me here. So the float is important and you should Google it, but I'll do it here. Where did it go? Okay, so what is the float mean? Total number of shares available for trading. It's calculated by subtracting closely held shares like the preferreds and all this stuff from the outstanding shares. And again, this is what people can trade. Does that make sense? In other words, let me show you guys something. So float, let's just take a look. OPTT. OPTT has a float of 8.33 million shares. That means that the float, in other words, all ownership of OPTT changed hands almost 7 times today. Brad, am I doing a multiplication right? 7 times 8?
Sorry, I wasn't listening, bud.
6 times. Almost 6, 5, 5-ish, whatever. But the point is, that's what creates real supply and demand. The float and the volume. Look at the float for IBM. 931 million shares. I mean, it's going to take a lot more to move that kind of company versus this kind of company. That should make a lot of sense to you guys. Joseph, level 2. There's no need for level 2 for individual investors because your investment should not be tied to the second machinations of the bid and ask moves. You should be able to buy the stock without any. I have not used level 2 in over a decade. And I am a professional that is very good at what I do. It's one of those things that people trick people into buying, and everybody thinks that it's like the turbo. Hey, do you have turbo? I have turbo. Okay, well, that's good. So time and sales is the turbo of the market. Sounds good, but do you really need it? Brad, how are we on the questions?
We are caught. I don't think we have an unanswered question.
All right, so let me summarize really quick. Google navigation, everything you pull up will have a stop and a profit target, or if it's already being traded by the AI, an entry. A stop, a profit target, or the actual entry, stop, and profit target. You will get historical AI trades, okay? So you'll be able to see how the trade ideas AI has performed here. Like for example, it has not done well on this stock. Good. Now you know that this stock is tricky and doesn't behave the way the statistical buy parameters look like. You should be careful. But of course, once it starts getting it right, like here, look, now this one is actually correct, right? So that's why, you know, maybe right above this level, above the next buy signal, then it could really start getting momentum. That's how you really want to be able to interpret things. And of course, you can connect this to interactive brokerage and trade directly from Trade Ideas with interactive brokerage if you have an account. And we help you set all of this up. So you don't need to run anything crazy, just a regular, machine. Brad, what would you recommend for JR?
Oh yeah, you don't need anything special to do it. All the heavy lifting, all the processing power is really, everything's done on the server side. So this is a really thin client. You don't really need anything that sophisticated.
Eric, for $8.88, you have to be doing it during our open house, which, Brad, when does that start?
Open house starts Monday.
Monday, yeah. So I would definitely suggest you do it. And Eric, right now we don't have the ability for you to trade with E-Trade, not because we don't want to, it just hasn't been coordinated yet. But the more people that ask them, the more we probably will get something. So, yeah. But right now it's interactive brokerage, and you totally can trade completely from anywhere. And by the way, look, right here, right click, boom. There you go. It will link with Questrade, but not trade with them yet. But you can link our software to almost any platform you want, where you can double click on a symbol and it'll change the charts in your platform and things like that. But again, we have our own charts, and now we're making it to where you really should need to have them, because they are all integrated with our Google navigation for investing and money management. Now that you've seen that there is a platform that anytime you pull up a stock, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Netflix, all your favorites, NVIDIA, you have your statistical data points present. Salah, yes, absolutely. So we have a channel for that. See, like, again, you guys say stuff that you've been conditioned to. It's like abused people and animals. Can I set this up? Can I set this up? Can I set this up? Guys, you don't need to set anything up. We've already done it. What you guys are literally asking for, metaphorically, is like, can I have the scripting window where I can write my script to make me go to the website? What I'm saying to you is, we have Netscape.
Hey Dan, let's pop in Netscape. Are they around anymore?
No, but
all right. So, do me a favor. Pop in our Brokerage Plus tool. So, just a quick little high level on the Brokerage Plus tool. It integrates with interactive brokers, and it allows you to do a couple of different things. One, you can create your own strategy, like Dan was showing you with your alerts and filters, and then you can automate that. Or you can go ahead and just right-click on any, set it up according to your particular trading style, and then you can right-click on any symbol that's presented in the Trade Ideas top list or alert window or multi-strategy window, and then you can trade it based on the way that you've set that particular trade strategy up.
And you can have these multiple choices, and you can do it. There's so many preferences. I mean, again, you can do so much. You can tinker as much as you want to tinker. JR, you can access it from 100 million machines, just not at the same time. There should be no reason for you to have TI on that many machines. You just have it on one, and we'll have multi-monitors. You can do that. Everybody does that. So again, and look what you can do on the trading side. You can take a position, you can flatten it, cut it in half, you can double down, you can reverse it. Again, we are the Tesla, okay? So Eric, we are always looking, I'm sorry, not Eric, Mark. We are already inside of E-Trade in terms of their E-Trade Pro platform, but it is a very old version of Trade Ideas. It's called Strategy Scanner. It's kind of our initial foray into this. And TD Ameritrade, unfortunately, really believes that Thinkorswim is the best platform in the world, and how could anybody have anything that Thinkorswim does not have? They will soon change their mind as people realize how far we have jumped forward. But at this point, they're also trying to kind of focus more on the option side, I think. So maybe that's why They haven't done anything with us yet. Yeah, Waleed, we are definitely going to most likely give people the ability to automate Holly, but right now, let me just bring her back into the foray. So when you see, let's say a signal pops up, it'll pop in right here. You can right click, trade it, and you can send it, let me bring back Brokerage Plus. Okay, so I can right click, I can trade it, and I can say also, I can have like orders that I know I want to use for AI. Like for example, I can have 100 shares that's not just at market, but at like delta of the offer plus 10 cents. I can do in between. I can set this up in lots of ways. So for me, all it is again, that Tinder, boom, 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 that's it. Right click, trade, done. So it's as close as you can get it, but just not exactly super automated. Although again, it might be coming. Just that we need to test this stuff out, guys. This is like, we don't want to accidentally release Skynet onto the world by accident. Have Arnold Schwarzenegger come after me from the time machine. Okay. Netflix, Google Navigation have mated and have created the ultimate fintech alpha generation navigation guidance system, Trade Ideas. Let's get back to our beautiful world of our presentation, where I will show you that what you are seeing and what we offer costs you about $4.40 a day. Eric, Holly will be able to do some automated stuff. It's just that not yet, because no one's ever done it yet, and we'll be the first ones to do it because we want to just see how it affects the stocks. We want to improve the algorithms once that starts happening, because like once the AI starts to go, again, we are taking baby steps forward, but right now you can do it all. So Eric, and Eric asked a good question. Everything in the demo, ladies and gentlemen, will be all real time. So your $8.88 includes all the real time data. Exactly. So gappers for after hours, let me just real quick answer this question. So once again, remember, there's a channel for that. Everything you think, there's a channel for it. Patty, no, we don't have any API. I mean, we have an API, but we're not really developing in that way right now for third-party developers to develop to our API, because we're providing you the interface to do it. Now you can, if you are a large platform, we will work with you and integrate with you for sure. That makes sense? Brad, I'm not exactly sure what Bill is.
Yeah, I was going to reply. My suggestion, Bill, is shoot us an email. Let's kind of dig to the bottom of it, because quite frankly, they should be the same. Although, we can just go through the formula. Maybe you're using a custom or not, but connect on info and we'll get to the bottom of that.
So Sarwan, the software, all right, Barry already got you. Great. Yeah, I hope all of you sign up for the test drive. This is going to be our biggest one forever, by far. And here's something that's happening. I mean, our software is sort of in this process of going viral, where people are waking up to the fact that we have, number one, remember, we've been doing this since 2003, and we are way ahead of anyone even close to us in terms of the ability to have an AI that's working the market. There's just nothing like that right now. All of this robo-investing, that's just an assembly line to get your money and throw it into an index. We are an alpha gen, an alpha hunting AI that's looking to make profits, and it believes that it's a human, or at least it's been designed this way. So it thinks it's a human trader and trades that way, because that's where we come from. So again, back to the presentation. A couple of things. So make you aware that we do a Friday podcast where we talk a lot about all these different things that are happening in the company, some of the things that you're hearing about right now, but we communicate with our audience in lots of different ways, including this podcast. Would love to have you check it out on iTunes and listen to it. This is our subscription service menu where you can see how much our software costs. And we have a promo code because we are grateful for you for spending the time with us tonight. It's called Summit. Is this the right promo code, Scott, or am I crazy?
It could be yes and yes.
That's the right code.
Okay, so it's called Summit 2017, 50% off of your first month or year of trade ideas. And you can kind of see the difference between the standard, which is still very good, and the premium, which is the creme de la creme and the AI. Again, both will serve your purpose, but only one of them has the artificial intelligence. We do not currently have an app, but for a phone, but we're going to be heading in that direction. Again, this is our big thing that we want to communicate. You have this for $8.88 with what I've showed you today. I mean, the only way to not try it is if you're just not that interested, which is also okay. But we hope to see, the people that are super interested come over here, test drive it, so you can see for yourself what we're talking about. It's really that simple. We do events. We held an event on October 1st, and we would love for you guys to take a look at how we perceive the market. Some of our speakers, you can see that we take a slightly different approach. We don't have me coming out on my Ferrari and talking about all the school children that I just funded in Tahiti. We talk more about the actual market, how it works, and how to win. So please take a look at that, Holly Summit. And of course, back to, here you go. Ashok, I think the promo code is only for this webinar right now. The AI engine is part of Holly, yes. No one can, so Sarwan, no one can predict the future, and that's why doing that doesn't help anyone. Could a crash bigger than 1987 happen? Yes. Will it? We don't know. The key is to be nimble. In other words, if you're not so emotionally vested that you can't get out, then you can get out and it's not a problem. Mike, TS is going to be a partner of ours soon. I think. Well, is TS Think or Swim or Trade Station? They don't even, everyone has the same initials. Time and Sales. Yeah, well, Trade Station is looking to partner with us, and Think or Swim, like I said, I think they're the type where they think they've got enough money where if you're really good, they can just buy you whenever. But again, we're not for sale, so. Oh, Timothy S. Oh, little guy. I don't even know who Tim Sykes is. Sarwan, you can definitely upgrade from standard to premium, for sure. And we give people the ability to do that, and this test drive is one of the ways that that's done. So we are super easy to get a hold of. We're very active on social media, Facebook, and email. Here is our contact information. We were just recently featured in the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies in the United States. So lots of exciting things happening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everyone for coming to our Q&A session. Hopefully you learned something at this presentation, and we really appreciate your time. Scott, Brad, thank you. Are we all good?
Yeah, well, good.
I think we are. Good job.
Yeah, if anyone's interested,
Okay, awesome.
in downloading a handout with some of the information from the webinar, just go to the handouts panel and expand it. Click on the blue link and grab that before I go ahead and close the session. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you, Dan and Brad.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you everyone for coming. We appreciate your time. Take care.
Thanks.